When I looked again, it was standing beside me. I've always hated sleeping with my feet exposed. It sounds childish, I know, but ever since I was a kid, I've had this strange fear that something could reach out from under the bed and grab me. My parents used to laugh about it, how I'd sleep curled up like a shrimp, my blanket tucked tightly around my legs. I grew out of it eventually, or I thought I did, until 3 nights ago. Night 1, I live alone in a small apartment on the top floor of an old building downtown. It's the kind of place where the walls creak when the wind hits and the floorboards sound hollow under your feet. I'd been working late, editing a video for my freelance gig when I finally decided to call it a night. It was around 2 a.m. when I turned off the lights and crawled into bed. I left the lamp on dim mode, a soft amber glow, because I didn't like the pitch darkness of the room. The light cast long shadows across the floor, including the one beneath my bed. That's when I noticed it. The shadow under my bed didn't look right. It wasn't the usual soft blur of darkness. It looked darker, heavier, almost like it had weight. I stared for a few seconds. Maybe it was the lamp angle, I thought. I leaned over the edge to look. Nothing. Just the usual dust and boxes. But when I pulled back, I could swear the shadow shifted. It was small, barely noticeable, but something definitely moved. I told myself it was my imagination, turned my back, and tried to sleep. It took hours. Night 2. The second night, I was ready. I turned the light completely off, forcing myself to face the fear. I wanted to prove to my own mind that there was nothing there. Midnight passed, then 1, then 2. And then, just as I started to drift off, I heard a sound. A rustle. A soft, dragging noise, like cloth sliding across wood. I froze. It came from under the bed. I waited, not breathing, straining to listen. My heart was pounding so loudly it felt like it filled the room. Then I heard it again. Drag, scrape, drag, and a whisper. So faint I almost missed it. A dry, breathless whisper that said, "Are you awake?" Every muscle in my body went rigid. I wanted to move. I wanted to scream. But I just lay there, paralyzed. Finally, I managed to whisper back, "Who's there?" No answer. Just the silence of the night, and that dark space beneath my bed that suddenly felt much, much deeper than before. Night 3. By the third night, I was terrified to go to sleep. I spent most of the evening pacing the apartment, trying to convince myself that stress and exhaustion were playing tricks on me. I even checked under the bed again, using my phone's flashlight. There was nothing there but my old shoe boxes. Still, when I finally lay down, I couldn't take my eyes off the floor. Minutes crawled by. Then, a subtle movement. The shadow under my bed shifted again. This time, there was no mistaking it. It moved like something alive. I sat up fast, grabbed my phone, and pointed the flashlight at the floor. Nothing, just darkness. But as I watched, the shadow slowly began to crawl forward, stretching out from under the bed like spilled ink. It moved silently, flattening itself against the wood. I stumbled back, nearly fallen off the bed. The flashlight flickered, and for a split second I saw something inside the darkness. A hand, pale, long-fingered, pressing against the floor. And then it was gone the day after. I didn't sleep that night. In the morning, I told myself I was done being scared. I'd call the landlord, maybe get someone to check the apartment. Plumbing, insulation, whatever could make those sounds. But when I got to work, my coworker Alex pointed out something strange. "Dude," he said, squinting at my arm. "Did you get scratched or something?" I looked down. On my right forearm were 3 thin red lines. They weren't deep, but they were too even to be accidental. I had no idea how they got there. That night, I decided I wasn't sleeping in that room again. I set up a blanket and pillow in the living room. But even from there, through the cracked bedroom door, I could see the faint glow of the lamp, and I could swear, just before I closed my eyes, I saw something moving under the bed, reaching for the doorway. Night 4. I recorded everything. I set up my phone camera facing the bed, light on, before trying to sleep on the couch. I figured if anything moved, I'd see it. I didn't sleep much. Around 3 a.m., I woke up to a faint thud from the bedroom, the sound of something heavy shifting. I stayed where I was, listening. Then came another thud, and another. It sounded like footsteps. I grabbed my phone and opened the camera feed. The video was still recording, but the image was wrong. The lamp was flickering, and there was something standing next to my bed. A tall, shadow-like figure, bent slightly forward, its outline trembling in the light. I couldn't see its face, just a shape, darker than darkness itself. It stood there for several seconds, then slowly turned toward the camera. The screen went black. The morning. When I finally gathered the courage to check, the recording was corrupted. The file existed, but it wouldn't play past that exact moment. I left the apartment that day and stayed with a friend. I didn't tell him the details, just that I needed a break from my place. He joked about ghosts and bad wiring. That night, I slept for the first time in days, until 4:17 a.m., when I woke up suddenly, heart racing, feeling that something wasn't right. The air was cold, still, and then I realized the shape of my blanket looked wrong, like something was underneath it. I yanked it back, nothing, just the mattress. But as I exhaled in shaky relief, I noticed a faint shadow on the floor beside the bed. Not mine, not the furniture's. It was too tall, too human, the last night. I came back to my apartment the next evening to grab my stuff. I told myself it was the last time I'd ever step foot there. The room felt heavy when I entered. The air was cold, stale, like it hadn't been breathed in days. I looked under the bed one last time. Empty. But the floor looked stained. A faint, dark patch, like moisture that never dried. I packed fast, tossing clothes into a bag. And that's when I saw it. My phone on the nightstand, light blinking. The same phone that had recorded the video. A new file had appeared. Time-stamped from the night I wasn't home. I played it. At first, it was just static and faint white noise. Then, slowly, a shape began to form in the dark. A shadow. The same outline as before, only now it was closer. I could see faint details, limbs, a slight tilt of its head. It was standing right beside the bed, motionless. And then it spoke. A dry, raspy voice whispered through the speaker. "Why did you leave?" The video ended abruptly. I dropped the phone. It hit the floor and the light went out. When I looked again, it was standing beside me.